Hello, welcome to episode 2 of the Y-Wing build, in which we shall be having a quick look at how we did all that lovely detail there. Let's see if we can zoom you in a little bit. Yeah. So I'll show you how I did all that lovely detail. Now, I didn't actually follow any reference photos or anything like that, and it wasn't until afterwards I spotted that there were decals for the cockpit. I completely made that up. No, it's not that far off from what they give you on the decal sheet, and I genuinely didn't follow that. That's kind of cool. I like that. I'm making things up and it looks real. Yay! Yay! Big thumb. So, sit back, relax, enjoy. We'll talk through this, and hopefully we'll get through to some figure painting too. Oh, what's going on with this lighting at all? Okie doke. Okie doke. I keep saying that. That lets me know at the start of the clip that the clip started when I'm doing all the editing. You know, it's little things like this that you have to watch out for. So I'm just going to grab some colours just off to the side, which is Vallejo Model Air again. So I'm going to grab that one. Oh, it's really, really dark grey. No, that's green. No, that's green. So it's literally off to the side here. This is literally how I decide how to paint. Let's bring you over like that. So this is all my Model Air stuff, obviously. It's Model Air. We can tell that by the black caps. So I'll literally just go through. That's black metal. Don't want that. I want really, really dark grey. This is literally how I pick my colours. I don't plan anything. I just think, yep, that looks alright, that looks alright, that looks rubbish. Not using that. That looks okay. White grey. I'll need you. Metal. Ooh, possibly need you. I definitely need a yellow. That's too bright. That's the same one. Yep, that's the same one, so I don't need that. Oh, gold yellow. Gold yellow, yep, we'll use that. That's more what I'm after. So it's a lovely mellow yellow. Mellow yellow. Mellow yellow. Grey violet. No, grey violet. Grey violet. We'll take that one out. Grey violet. So I genuinely don't worry about colours. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Dark grey blue. RLM74. That's the one I was after. So this is my preferred grey for doing really dark stuff. So let's get my camera sorted out again. I'll walk all that off. Okay, doke. Where's my brush? Where's my brush? So we're going to stay with these army painter brushes. And there's somebody going to start yapping outside my bedroom door in a minute. Alrighty, good few minutes worth of shaking and agitating and things like that, and we should get a decent splodge off to the side there. Right down in the bottom corner, and on the little screen that I use here, because I don't actually look at what I'm doing, I actually do all this through this screen. It's kind of like endoscopic surgery. And where my stuff is, it's actually right there in the bottom corner where there's a little logo. That doesn't help at all. I'm just going to clip that away from the frame. It says we're a brush in his mouth. Very professional. All very professional. Let's sort the knobs out off to the side, so I'm literally just scraping the knob away. Like so. Like so again. And grab a crocking tail clip even. Just going to very gently pinch that corner there. That's not going to work. See how that goes. Right, so we'll get this RLM74. I'm not actually going to paint the centre section. I'm just going to paint around the edges. Shift U so the camera focuses on that. Focus, there we go. So literally just going to paint around the edges here. just to darken it up a little bit. Like so. Turn him upside down because we don't want to dislocate our wrists. Usually pronunciation boy. Trying to get around the corners. So we'll just fill that detail in there. Like so. Don't worry, it'll look spotty. We'll do this in 2 light coats. It's not a problem. As you can see, it's going on all sloppy and horrible. Second coat will sort that out. I'll actually need a little bit more because I only put a tiny little smidgen. There you go, big dollop. There you go, that's better. I can work with that now. Oh, that massive great big dollop. I can actually use that on something else in a moment when I work away. Now at this point, there's probably people screaming at me saying that's not the cockpit seat for a Y-wing. That's okay. If you feel that it's not right, you do it as you see fit. Sounded a bit snotty that, didn't it? I do apologise. Obviously, if you want it your way, paint it your style, paint it your colours. That should be ready enough now for me to do a second coat there. So that's okay. We're going to leave that centre section there because we'll go in with the green brown or whatever colour that is. And then we'll weather the snot out of that in a moment or two. Right, so I'll pop it off to one side. But yeah, if that's not to your taste, then obviously whatever colours you choose will be better. If that makes sense. I'm going through the instructions, what's that called? Joystick. Should go this way around. So that's the butt end. Is that the knob? That's the knob. Tell you what, for a 1/72 scale cockpit, that's a huge joystick. That's marvellous. So I'll just grab the crocodile clip and we'll do a dark head. What I'll do in a moment is I'll get a shiny colour, one of the silvers. We'll do that little column there. So the tiny bit of detail there. There's a couple of lumps and bumps on the top there. I'll do those as some kind of trigger mechanism. So I'll do them in a bright colour. I think I've got this the right way around anyway. Slingshot, shift that. Do apologise. I'm having one of those runs today where I can get like 4 different projects done in one go because of all the dry times that I'm working with at the moment. It's good fun. You can get this kind of conveyor belt going, especially when you're doing a filming your builds. Get yourself a good run going. With 3 or 4 on the go at once, and you can really chew through the pile of shame. So there we go. So we'll leave that centre section there, deliberately primer grey. Right. So let's choose a few of these little bumps and lumps. With the brush itself, I'm actually working through the paint like so. And then hopefully if you can see that through the shine, I'm pulling and twisting to a point, like so. So we get the nice sharp edge, we get the nice little needle point. The other way of doing it is just dragging. and twisting it 180 degrees each time, which will give you that chisel edge. It doesn't quite work on this brush because it's not that kind of brush, but that's what you can do with the bigger brushes. If you pull and twist, you should be able to get a nice big point and a load of fluff in your tip. You don't want fluff in your tip. So pull and twist to a point and we'll pick out a few details. So, I don't know. I'll probably need a smaller brush for this, to be honest. Anyway, there we are. Right, shift you out of the way. Pull it over here, get some blank space so that we can concentrate on the piece itself. Give myself enough room so I can get my hand in. Let's go for that dome there. Like I say, none of this is being followed off any photograph reference or anything. I'm just doing it as I see. How's that? Apologies for any dodgy lighting. I'm only working off this screen. I don't actually get to see what this is like until I stick it in the computer so I can edit it. So if this lighting is terrible, I do apologise. More than likely is terrible. So it's literally just a few details here and there. Like I say, I'm not following any reference photos or making this up as I go along. But we'll add some colour in there in a minute as well, just to liven it up a little bit. So I'm going to paint that down there with the dark colour. And I'm going to do that entire section there. Hopefully I'm still in shot. Like so. Painted that entire section grey, in the dark grey even, but you can probably see the odd lump and bump here and there where there's switches and things like that. So we'll have some proper colour in a moment, just to brighten it up. Do the same now, we'll have a load of dark stuff there. And then we'll come back with something brighter over the top, just to pick out the lumps and bumps. Like so. Hopefully you can make that out. So I'll pop that off to one side. Where's the dashboard? There's the dashboard. There's the dashboard. So this big lumpy sticky out thing here, I'm going to paint that in dark grey. I've no idea what that is, but it looks like it should be in dark grey, just to add a bit of contrast to a flat dashboard. And then I'm going to paint the entire console dark grey. Now again, I'm not following any reference photos. If you have them, if you prefer to do that, then by all means you do so. But this is just my take on what I think the Y-wing should look like. I say I don't do screen accuracy, I don't believe in it. I'm purely doing this for something that looks good, and looks, you know, for my taste, things like that. But, basically these are the techniques you would use if you think that should be silver. It's the exact same technique. Oh. I say I don't believe in true white or true black. If you're familiar with the previous videos I've done, you'll be aware of the rant. If you are new to this, rule of thumb is use the lightest grey you've got for a white, and then you can highlight that with a white on top, a true white, which will give you this kind of effect. Right, so we've got all kinds of tonal variations of white, so we've got greys and things like that. The shadows don't help. If we add a true white now to the very, very, very extreme highlights, so we've got the top of that pocket there. There's possibly a bit too much white on the brush, so I'm just going to knock that back a little bit. Take some of these creases here on the trousers. So it's the very extreme edges. Like so. there, one here, snap one there, and then grab some of these on the top. So tonal variations of white, using white as the extreme highlight, and hopefully the lighting can pick that up. I'm struggling like mad with my lighting. There we go, get the other one on, that might help. So you should be able to see now. It's a bit of an extreme tonal variation, but various shades of grey, and use white as your highlight. And if you're using, or if you want something to be black, use the darkest grey you've got, and then you can use black as the actual shadows, like this. To the side, like so. Right. So we've got various shades of really dark grey. I've highlighted with a little bit of light grey. A couple of dark shadows with really dark grey. So we've got 3-tone variation already. And if we use black itself just as a defining line in really small amounts under the light shadows, because you can't darken black any darker than black already is, if that makes sense. So we'll just do that right under there, right in the shadows, and then hopefully, you know, it's just the tiniest amount, but then all of a sudden, pop, it looks black. And the best one of all will be right there, right where the trousers are, and then under the pockets, like so. Some of these trouser seams. Seams? Wrinkles. So picking out right underneath all the light parts, and then you add that contrast just to make it stand out. So, you know, don't go blasting straight in with the whites. Get the lightest colours you can find. Now this white grey, for me, is absolutely ideal for a white. Let's finish giving that a good shake. Still looks a bit snotty, that. I've been shaking that for about 3 minutes. Stop that away. Where's me? There we go. Up it. Right. Please work. There we go. That's better. Right. So it looks virtually white. That's white. That's light grey. You know, it's there or thereabouts. And having used this before, I can tell you that there's very little difference between this and actual white. There's enough there that if you're using this on uniforms and things like that, you'll see the difference. But I'm just basically using this now just to add in these little circle things a little bit of colour. These little circle things, of course, being dials. I couldn't think of the word at the time I said the circle things. And again, we're just going to pull and twist the brush to a point through the paint, just to add that little bit of detail there. He says, get some paint on the brush first, that might help. There we go. What we'll do here is we'll add some colour. You set the dials. If there's any splotches like that, don't worry. Just quick wipe with the finger. Generally takes care of it. But we can also, if we really need to at the end, once we've done all this, seal it in with a gloss varnish again, and then come over with another wash, and it'll just take that back, knock it down a little bit. It's not a huge problem. A little bit more in there as well. Just give all that a quick wipe. There we go. So it's all inside little dials now. Like so. So again, we'll leave that. Oh, sorry. We'll leave all that to dry again before we go on to the next layer. And then here. There's actually nothing in there that I can really add that much white to. Let's go with that one there. Just had a few bumps and lumps here and there. So it's literally just adding that little bit of flavour. Like so. Again, you can use any colours for this. I'm not following any references whatsoever. I am literally making this up as I go along. This is the kind of thing that the ILM guys would have done. Literally just make this up as they go. Just very gently run over the top of that with the brush. I don't think you can get quite close enough to that. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little streaks going across there. We've literally just livened that up with just a tiny overbrush, and that was literally the brush just grazing over the top like so. So we don't need to absolutely flood this with paint. Excuse me. Let's see what else I can find. That looks good. Just on the back of my hand, I'm just going to take a little bit of the paint away, just so I can, again, just very gently catch those edges, like so. Ooh, that's a good one. So very lightly just grazing over the top of those edges. And we'll do, yeah, let's grab a couple of these as well. They're quite interesting little shapes. Let's bring them out. Now again, some of you may be scratching your heads thinking, you know, a lot of this detail isn't going to be seen. It's going to be hidden by all kinds of cockpit grubbery. I have no idea what grubbery means. But this detail is here. And this is a good way of testing your techniques and learning new things. And just, yeah, have a play. These are the kind of things I used to do as a kid. Even though I was never going to see any of the detail that was painting, it was there. And it's really good to practice your techniques on. So I'm just going to, oh, that's dried already. That's kind of cool. So I'm just going to knock the excess of the paint off on the brush, like so. Not grabbing, not twisting. Wipe it over, like so. Knock all the excess off. And you can see that it's stuck in the bristles there now. So what we do now is grab the X20A. As you'll see, really grubby pot. And I'm not pushing all the way down to the bottom either and giving it all this. It's literally waggling away just here. Tip it over when I was spilling it. Just waggling away just here. And I'm literally just going to do that. Again, I'm not going to grab the bristles, I'm not going to start twisting or anything like that with the bristles in tow. I'll pinch there and work backwards and clean the shaft. And the ferrule Ferrule, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. But the bristles themselves, I'm literally just doing that with them. And as you can see, perfectly clean. Lovely stuff. Now, these things, because they are so tiny, do come with these little covers. Best thing to do now, just wet the end of your finger and thumb. Just very gently give it a quick tweak into shape. And then whack the end over, like so. And that'll protect your bristles then. And then, off to the side, I'll have a cup that'll keep them all in. Stand them upright. Obviously, don't leave them that way down, because that's the best way of damaging your bristles as well. You'll end up with big cowlicky bristles, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all. So stand them upright, let them air dry, and do the thing. Perfectly fine, it's not a problem. Right, so also that's drying, I'm going to switch to another brush, an even smaller brush. These are ridiculous. These are army painter brushes. These are my new favourite thing. I love the names. That's the Psycho. That's the smallest brush they do. Look at the size of that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So these things, obviously army painter, you're actually, you know, the really tiny tabletop gaming figures. This is what they're designed for. I don't actually have anything from this range, but they do all kinds of World War II and World War I stuff. And the tiny little details in their eyes, that'd be perfect. That's why I'm testing these out, because I'm going to get back into my figure painting. What was I doing? Yeah, get back into the figure painting and things like that. Start trying to sell them again. I went through a phase quite a few years back of selling figures, and I did quite, make a decent money out of it, but it wasn't regular work. It's not something I could call a career. But it'd be nice for the little extra pocket money. So a little spot of red, a little spot of orange. Yeah, why not? Right, let's see if I've got bright green. I don't think I've got bright green, to be honest. No, that's camera green. IDF green, why not? We've used this one before. It's a nice muted green. This is the one that I used on the ATST inside the cockpit. How long have we done so far? Oh, 10 minutes. I thought we'd done more than 10 minutes. So this is that lovely muted green. It's like a jade green. Like that. So I'm not going to dip and change into all the colours. I'm literally going to start with this green. Let's get the dashboard. Where's the dashboard? What did I do with the dashboard? Because that'll be nice and dry now. That's the good thing about these Vallejo paints as well. These model eye paints, they dry really quickly, especially in small quantities like this. Oop, my belly's gurgling. What's that about? I've been fed. Alright, so hopefully you can make this out now that I've added the white to the background. This will just lift the colour as well. So I'll put that one there, because why not? Let's do that one as well. Like so. Hopefully you can make that out, because I can't. But we know it's there. This is the brilliant thing about them. So, where's me? That's 28. It's alright, might find it. Might find it. So again, this is completely made up. No reference photos. A quick double. Right, so I'm happy with that. This is the smallest brush I've ever used. I'm in love with it. So again, staying well away from the bristles. Also just clean the shaft up and wet the bristles. Like so. Yeah, good to go. Let's cover that up before I knock it over. Because it's me, I'm bound to. Let's go into the orange. And pull twist to a point. And we'll go with orange on that one. Ooh, that's nice. I've just done that one green. Never mind. Just add some orange in there, like so. Because why not? And then we'll come into the cockpit itself. We'll do some orange just here. One there. Like so. So it's just adding tiny little details. Do a couple across that bit, like so. Plonk that down, and then X28 again. Get rid of the orange. Like so. Try the brush. Oh! I do apologise. Oh, sorry about that. Right, how many of you just yawned with me? There's one for the comments. How many people yawned? Can I break a world record for yawning on a video and having the knock-on effect of people yawning? Has that ever been done before? Ooh, that's one to find out about. Right, so hopefully you can make out the colour change between the red and the orange. So it just about jumps out in real person. In real person? Real life? I don't know, it's been a long day. Let's get some red over the top of here. Like so, and then we'll stick some red there. Because why not? I'll stick some red there. Across that one. Oh, Blanca red there. Red there, red there. Hey, we're thick on there, there. Chuck some red. Whistling shot. Stick some red on that one there. Like so. Then clean the brush again. Now where's that yellow? There's that yellow. Let's throw a little bit of yellow in there. Yep, I'm off again. Whew. Oh, stop yawning. That's terrible. Terrible host. Alright, a spot of yellow. So this is the gold yellow. It's not as in your face. It's a lovely muted colour. So what I'll do for these things is I'll actually base coat that with the gold yellow first to see how that looks over the grey. Normally I'd use a lighter grey primer for the yellow. I might even use white primer for a yellow. But this one I want it to be grubby and dirty and horrible. So we'll see how it looks with the grey, and then go up into the gold yellow, second coat if we need to, and then possibly a proper yellow, like the primary yellow that I've got, which is here. So you can probably see. And so this is how I'm actually planning it now that I've mixed a couple of colours. That's the primary yellow, and that's the gold yellow, so you can see the difference. Now to my eyes it's more of that colour on that yellow stripe. Plus we'll be weathering it anyway, so if we did base coat with a primary yellow, by the time we finish weathering it, it would be more towards this shade anyway, so I'm still in two minds about what to do with that. So we'll go with the dark yellow first and see how that looks, and then, like I say, we can lighten it if we need to. So I'm going to chuck some yellow on that one there. I'll throw some yellow here. So this is the thought process now that I'll be using. Now let's start picking the colours out. Because I genuinely can't sit there and say, right, I'll use that, and that. Like I say in some videos, you know, there's like a whole bunch of colours being picked out already. I genuinely can't work like that. It's too organised. My brain isn't organised at all whatsoever. It used to be. It used to be. And then I went off and served my country and it got broke. My mind's been bouncing about all over the place ever since. So if you are of the organised type that can, you know, lay out all your paints beforehand, I genuinely do admire you, because I wish I could still do that. Genuinely do. But no, my brain doesn't work like that no more. Try and get organised and it goes, nope, I like that colour there. No, I'll use that colour there, and then maybe not. Let's use that colour instead. Lovely. Yes, that's dry. Right. That's that. 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 Let's do some silver chippage. Aluminium might be too bright. Gun might be too dark. We'll go with gun, and then we can always lighten it. And see what gun looks like. Ooh, it's possibly a bit dark, so I'll throw some aluminium there as well. Adam! Aluminium! Gotta say it like a northerner, mate. So I've got some gunmetal there, a bit of aluminium there, mix the two together, let's see what we can create. Ooh, I like that, I like that one. So we've got like a steel colour now, mixing the two together. Let's go make that out. I like that. Right, knock the excess off on, ooh, steady, on the kitchen roll. Papery towel type thing. And do the pulley twisted to a point trick. Through the paint. Probably shouldn't mix colours together with the Psycho brush, it's possibly a bit too small for that. And what we're going to do now is very quickly pick out the tops of these circly bits, like so. So this is more like the traditional dry brushing type thing. Just pick out some of these raised details. It's obviously cockpit. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be lived in. There's going to be all kinds of dinks and dents and stuff like that going on in there. Chippages. Grab some of these raised details. Some of this pipe work as well. They come along, I know for a fact they paint on there. There you are. Just go with the aluminium. Get rid of bright shiny in there now. There we go, that's more like it. I thought it was too bright and shiny, we can dumb it down with a couple more washes, it's not a problem. Bit outside, bit there. Tiny little detail here. So I'm literally now barely touching on that section to add that shine. A couple of little raised bits here, like so. Grab that one there. Grab that one. Like so. And then we'll grab the edges of these circles too. So again, barely touching. It should be enough just to catch the eye, just to let you know there's a little bit more detail there. Let's catch some of that. Like so. That'll show up better here. There we go. Just get a bit more wear and tear on there. So I'll do a proper dry brush on this section, just to scuff it up a little bit. There we go. Oh, I like that. I do like that. I will scuff up a couple of these edges here as well. Like so. So it's just a tiny, tiny little edge. I'll add a tiny little bit to the edge of the edge of that cowling. Like so. Just to show a little bit of wear and tear. Nothing overly major. It's just enough that it's going to catch. Do the odd glints here and there. So it's barely touching, you know, like little wiggles and things like that. But it's these kind of areas that a pilot will grab onto as he's getting in and out of the cockpit. Like so. Happy with that. Right. So a couple of chips are there where he throws his gloves down on as he's getting in and out. It's possibly a bit too much, so I'll just have a quick dab of that with a finger. Yeah, so these are the kind of areas where he throws his gloves into after a mission or as he's climbing in and out. I think that's where the cockpit attaches into, the canopy glass. So, quick and easy. Obviously if that's too much for you, don't do so much, but that's basically how we do that. So this is more of a how we achieve these effects rather than I'm doing screen accurate. Hopefully you can catch the little bits of silver on there now. So I'm happy enough with the cockpit area now. Tell you what, let's do some chippage in here as well. Let's catch some of these edges here, like so, on the back like so. Some of these edges, like that. like I say, these are the kind of things that the ILM guys would have done. They wouldn't have worried about screen accuracy, because at that point screen accuracy didn't exist, so they would have literally been throwing paint down like this. That's the kind of rule of thumb I work off. If the ILM guys, when they made these things to start with, weren't worried about screen accuracy, why should I? Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm in their position now. I'm doing this for the first time. You know, something like this has never been seen before. What will I do with it? You know, these are the kind of things I come up with. These are the little effects like that. So I'm just going to add loads of little scuffs and chips on the edges here. Let's get some more on the brush. So little things like that, just to liven that area up. Little scuffs, little dinks, bits of wear and tear. Things like that. Alright, so that's that. And then clean the brush, and we'll come back with the that funny brown colour. That's actually quite therapeutic. That little triangular shape, making all that racket. I like that. Where's that little cover gone? There he is. So what's that been? That's been half an hour's worth of painting so far. Doesn't feel like it. That feels literally like about 5 minutes. That's kind of cool. Right, so going in with the regiment brush again that we used earlier. So it's like a general purpose brush. Just grab some of this brown. It's a really funny brown colour, green brown. It's more like a khaki colour. Good splot. So it's good for, you know, like a leathery type thing. A leathery type effect. Not like chamois leather that they use in the Millennium Falcon cockpit. So again, it's going to pull and twist to a point through the paint. I've very nearly put it through the metallic colour. And I'll literally just go into throwing on there. Now again, the first coat will look absolutely snotty and you'll have all kinds of primer showing through. Don't worry. Leave it to dry. Come back with a second coat. It'll be fine. You might possibly need a third coat. But don't go panicking. Don't go thinking, oh god, it's ruined. Let it to dry. Let it do its thing. And work it out from there. So there we go. There's the first coat. And it does look terrible. It really does. You know, the perfectionist in the back of my head's going, what the? No, genuinely, don't worry. Leave it now. Do its thing. If I can get you close enough. Focus. There you go. So you can see all kinds of streaks of primer coming through underneath. Don't worry. Honestly, don't worry. Let it dry. Let it do its thing. We'll take care of that separately. It's not a problem. Really isn't a problem. So whilst we got the silver still slick and wet in there, say silver is just generic term for silver. I'm not going for shades. In this case, yes, it is the aluminium that I'm using and concentrating with most. But again, yeah, find your happy place. Find find your preferred colours. You know, there's absolutely nothing at all in this video saying you must use these colours. I'm using these colours simply because I've got them. That's it. So, not quite cleaned the brush properly. There's still a bit of brown on there, but that's fine. That's no problem. It's clean enough that I can go straight into the silver. Because I literally only need a tiny little bit for that shafty bit just there. And there's absolutely no brown transferring through anyway, so not a huge problem. And hopefully I've still got red active in there as well. I can throw on the top here. Now I'm actually going to paint those in silver anyway. Pick out lumps and bumps and things like that. I'll do a couple of chips and scuffs and things like this across the handle too. Oh, it's ridiculously tiny, this. So, lumps and bumps. Chips and scuffs and things like that. There we go. Now whilst that's still wet, I'm not actually going to worry about that too much. We'll throw the red over the buttons. So again, quick rinse. And even though we have brown and silver on there now, perfectly clean. I like that. Sort that bit out there. Straight into that red. Yeah, still gooey enough. It has skinned over, but it's still gooey underneath. So I'll throw the red straight over the top, like so. Leave some of the silver showing through for lumps and bumps and scuffs and things like that. There we go. Now I've got triggers over the top of the joystick. Can't quite see that, can we? Like so. So we're going to leave all this to dry now, and then we'll come back and we'll matte varnish this instead of gloss varnish. Stick a matte varnish over the top and see what's what. Right, so whilst the cockpit's drying, we'll shift it off to one side. Over here to the stand, and you can go over here to the stand. We'll grab the figure. We've still got the red and orange in the palette. I'm going to grab a standy up figure. Tell you what, just clip that away. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, like that. Like that. Like that. Oops. That's your eyes, people. Zipped about all over the place. Right, so grab the knife. Just trim some of these knobs. Sort these out. That's not actually too bad. Looks that way does. Hock-a-dock. I'll grab a cooking tail stick just to hold them. So we're going to leave the boots completely for the time being. And then I'm going to go straight in with red. I know, red. And we're going to base coat everything in red on the body. Trust me, it'll be fine. What this will do, this will provide shadows for the orange that we'll be using later. So I actually need to add a bit more red there because that red's a bit too dry. But this is literally after that clip that we've just been filming with the cockpit. You know, just stopped the clip because it was on 35 minutes and I'm running out of space on the memory card. So it's literally stopped it, start a new clip. So I'm just going to paint everything in red. Even the gloves. In these smaller scales it doesn't matter too much, that'll just add to the effect when we overpaint with the right colours. I'm going to stay away from that chest panel itself. like there, we've gone onto the glove itself. It's not a problem. It's tiny enough that we can get away with it. Same with this strap here. If we go onto the strap, it's fine. It's not a problem. Now, what I would normally do on larger figures, I would do a mid-tone, then a shadow, then a highlight. But with these tiny figures, start with your darkest colour first. So we're going in with the shadow first, in this case. And I know red is an odd colour for a shadow, but if you think about it, red is half of orange. So it kind of makes sense. To use half of orange. I went quiet on you then because I was concentrating. It kind of makes sense to use half of orange as your shadow. And once we over paint this with the orange anyway, it'll all blend together. Doesn't help we've got a cluttered background. Again, don't worry if we can't get it all in one coat. It's not a massive problem. Okay, so that's that. Oh, hello, missed the collar. Get the collar as well. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to leave that to dry now. Right, let's see if we can get you in. I'll find the right button. Focus on me, not the background. Focus on me, not the background. There we go. So I'm going to base coat a face. The funny brown colour that you had before. Whilst this red's drying, I'm just going to very quickly catch that with that funny brown colour. Oops. Try to drop him whilst you're at it. Again, it doesn't quite matter. Go on, focus. Focus. If we reach the chin strap or the helmet, that's fine. That's close enough to flash that we can get away with that as it is. What I'll do later on, once that's dried completely, is you see where the nose is? We'll just catch that with a slightly lighter shade of this. So that funny grey colour that we've got, I'll just add that to the brown just to catch that nose. And then I've still got to try and figure out how to do that lens at the moment as well. So I'll catch that in a second or two. Excuse me. But we'll leave the helmet for now. Zoom back out again. There we go. We'll leave the helmet and all the rest of the grippy details for now. We'll get the main flight suit itself sorted out. It's not quite dry yet. What we'll do is that red, we'll mix that with an orange to make a mid-tone. And then we'll gradually work through into the orange itself. Now again, you know, tiny little figure like that, and some of you might be scratching your head saying, is it really worth doing all that effort, you know, putting it all in? But trust me, You know, just 3 simple shades will liven that figure up something stupid. It really will. You know, it's daft little tricks like this that you just make it go from, yeah, it's alright that, to, oh my god, you did that, wow. And I'll tell you what, it's the best feeling in the world when somebody comes along and says that kind of thing about your work. It really is. It really is. Concentrating again. So yeah, it's the best feeling in the world, and it's literally 3 simple tricks, you know, or a simple trick of 3 just, you know, separate shades that are all based on the same colour. Little subtle things like this that just, yeah, makes it stand out a little bit more. Now, everything I'm doing to this figure will do to stay. Stop it. Stay. You're a good boy. The sat down figure, we'll do the exact same thing with him. And I'm going to have a look at reference photos for the figure from Return of the Jedi. Oops. Smash him in the face. Bring him up there. There you go. So I'll have to look at reference photos for him, because I genuinely can't remember what colours he was. And yeah, like I say, everything we're doing for this figure, it's easier to show you with him than it is with somebody who sat down. So if I can do it in big scale, yeah, the exact same techniques apply to the guy that sat down. I just said the same thing twice, 2 completely different ways. Ugh, it's been that kind of day. It really has. So we'll leave him for a few more minutes. So there we are. Yeah, I know we're back in real time. I'm going to leave the episode there because it's going on and on and on and on and on. But basically, most of what you've just seen then, from beginning the detail painting of the cockpit, right the way through to painting that figure, was all done practically in one sitting. And it was about an hour and a half's worth of work. So you'll see the odd cut here and there, but it was all done in one clip. And afterwards, I tried standing up and my legs just went and fell off. Brilliant. I literally couldn't move afterwards. So that's where we are now with the cockpit. That's the seat. I'm just going to add a couple of highlights to that, but we'll do that in the next episode. The cockpit itself looks like this. All kinds of lovely little details in there. Now I decided to satin varnish over the top of that instead of matte varnish, just in case we need to do any more washes and things like that. I'm pretty much happy with where it is, but yeah, I know. I'm still thinking about it. I've still got a couple of little shadows I need to add on this fella with a wash. But that's basically where we are at the moment. Let's see if we can zoom you in a little bit better. That way, Tony. Zoop. So lots of lovely detail in there. So we'll finish off painting him in the next episode. I'll talk you through how I did the shadows and things like that. There's still a part of me that wants to lighten the orange up a little bit more. Just pick out some of the high ridges. So we might do that as well in the next episode. I'm not too sure yet, but as always, yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Always leave you wanting more. That's the way it works. As always, just get me shot. Lovely. Thank you so much for watching. Without you guys, I could not do this. It's that simple. Well, I could do this, but I wouldn't be filming it. Shall I give you a sneak peek? Yeah, why not? Let's give you a sneak peek. Let's see. Leave them wanting more, and I can guarantee you'll come back then. So there's the tub itself on the beak. So we started weathering that. Yeah, I know. Oh! And there's the base coating done. So we just need to do some detail painting on there now, just to liven it up a little bit. So we're working all the way through it now. It's one of those jobs where it's all just sliding into one all of a sudden. It's great. So join me next time and we'll finish off detail painting this fella, and possibly we might get on to starting in the head itself. I don't know what to call that. Is it a head? Is it a cockpit? Is it a thing? Is it what's it? Is it a doodah? Is it